Yeah. So what? It's your boy, Bits and Bobs.
And it's your girl, Lambs.
How are we doing, people? Another episode of Don't Piss Me Off, episode 2. So, my co host and I are going to talk about some football media, some stupid journalism, and also a Welshman that's beating up women. So, Lambs, Ryan Giggs, what are you telling me?
So once again, here we have an ex-footballer, a big name, Manchester United legend, Welsh international legend, again in the headlines, and not for the first time, over a controversial issue. So again, I just want to touch on a few headlines describing this incident. So obviously, if people are not aware, Ryan Giggs was recently arrested over a domestic incident involving his girlfriend. And I just want to touch on this headline from the Daily Mail that basically says Ryan Giggs' girlfriend, Kate Grayville, feared he was cheating on her with 2 women before bust up that saw him arrested. The other subheadings also say Giggs arrested after allegedly attacking Grayville inside his Cheshire home.
Allegedly. Wow.
Yeah, allegedly. Wales manager 46 denies allegations of assault and is cooperating with police. Now, and then again, the article goes on to say she allegedly confronted Giggs over flirty messages to 2 women on his iPad. So again, the key word here that kind of jumps out to me is alleged, right?
Yep.
Alleged. So when you use the word allegedly, it means there's claims that have been made, but you can neither prove nor disprove it at the moment. So it's an ongoing investigation, basically.
Yep.
Now, it kind of
say it, Lambs. Let's say it. Come on.
Okay. With our chest.
Let's say it. Say it with your chest.
It pisses me off that, again, the use of the language has now decided to paint this person who, again, we already know for a fact he has a history of doing dirt and filth.
Yes.
And now they've tried to paint it as, oh, it's an alleged claim. So again, we're with him and we're supporting him like innocent until proven guilty. And again, and this brings me quite nicely to move on to our next topic, which we saw what the Sun said about Paul Pogba and how he had to come and basically say, like, this is absolute trash and fake news.
Yep.
And again, just to basically spark a response. So I'm just going to quickly ask you, go to you and ask you what you think about this whole Ryan Giggs issue, how the media have portrayed it as well, and then we can go on and discuss the whole podcast.
Yeah. So basically, I think it's obviously the headlines, it's amusing, isn't it? The Premier League's most decorated player, allegedly, can't do that. But I think these people forget that Ryan Giggs is mixed race. Ryan Giggs has a black dad. And it's so interesting to see the way they portray this guy. And I'm not saying he wouldn't get his flowers if it was more known he was mixed race. However, you can't be beating up girl. You can't be punching up girls, right? Regardless, okay, people have domestic fights and stuff, but seriously, guys, we are stronger than you people. And that's not me being sexist or anything, but physically.
Can I quickly just say, can I just cut in there and say, like, in relationships, nobody should be hitting anybody.
100%.
The women should not be trying to be up the men or being violent in any.
Just walk away, innit? Just walk away. Just walk away. Yeah, and I think it's so. I think I read that and I think, okay, so how did you get the story? Where is he right now? Is he with the police? Because I tell you what, if me and you were together, Lambs, and I batted you up, okay? If I batted you up, this ain't not alleged. Do you get me? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? It's not an alleged.
You will go to prison. Obviously, if we were known on that level as well, there'd be newspaper articles basically.
Exactly.
Oh, Bob's does it again. the thug mentality comes out, like just horrible, nasty, typical stereotype.
Exactly. And now, because Giggs is portrayed as this white male, it's allegedly, we see the terms that are being used, and it gives the reader an image. Oh, but this is Ryan Giggs. Like, Ryan Giggs, no way. Sorry, Ryan Giggs already done the dirty on his brother. Let's not even go into that, because that's another conversation on moral, on every category, yeah? Now, he's been accused of cheating, not with one, but two, yeah? Two people. Now, there's three sides to the story. His, hers, the truth. You understand, yeah? Now, all I'm going to say, yeah, is this. Majority of women don't make noise, okay? Not just any kind of noise, okay? Why is the police involved? How did it get to the papers? This is not just a conversation. They're sitting down with each other, talking, and a message just came up by message.
Who are these alleged sources?
Do you know what I'm trying to say to you?
Confirmed that he's cooperating with the police and that he's prepared to clear his name, protest his innocence after denying the allegations, etc., etc. Who are these sources? Name them so we can check as readers whether they're reliable sources.
Yeah.
Which I can probably confidently say that they're not.
No, they're not. And the funny thing is, yeah, you know what's going to happen? Oh, what the hell happened there? Do you know what's going to happen, Lambs? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it's funny how they say he's cooperating with the police? What do you mean you're cooperating with the police? You don't have a choice. What do you mean about cooperating with the police? Listen, you're being charged, mate, with assault, GBH. Do you know what I'm trying to say about cooperating with the police? What? You've been nicked, mate. You got bagged. Lambs, yeah, Lambs. Check it. I get arrested, and you're my spokesman. Yeah, he's cooperating with the police. What do you mean? So I didn't resist arrest? Is that what that means? Come on, come off it. You know what? I'm in there in a cell getting questioned, but yeah, he's cooperating. Don't piss me off. Seriously. Like, don't piss me off. Like, don't take the piss. Listen, he's obviously something, and this is our opinions, guys. If you're watching this back, this is our opinions, okay? And I think what's happened is this, boom. She's been attacked, okay? This is my opinion. I think she's been attacked, yeah? And from what you read, okay, he stopped her from going out and he's got physical, okay? Now, there's only two people in this incident. Who's going to the newspaper? This woman is not stupid, okay? I think she's told a friend, okay? Or police have came and police have had to say, by the way, Giggsy's just been bagged, blah, blah, blah. Someone's went and whistleblowed. We're not stupid. We know how it happens. Come on. Come on. It's just the headline is so interesting. And it makes you do wonder, right? I know we touched about Harry Maguire and stuff last week, but it makes you think that if this was a mixed race sorry, not mixed race, if this was a black person, okay, or Asian, someone of BAME community,
right,
it wouldn't be alleged, it'd be love rat, or, you know, it would be words that create a negative image for the reader. And these newspapers don't know what they're doing.
Right, they'll call them a cheater or a sleaze or something like that.
Exactly.
There'll be some kind of like label attached to them straight away. Like
100%.
Just very, very, very quickly, let's kind of touch on the Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Well, so because you can throw that in as well. I mean, obviously we know he's been up to a bit of no good as well, but again,
busy boy.
Yeah, he's been a busy boy. That's one way to put it. So, and then again, you see the way that they have absolutely no qualms exposing his life, even going so far as to post the photos, the screenshots, whatever. With the comments, whereas there's none of that. There's no photos or naming of these two women that allegedly Ryan Giggs has been cheating with. There's no mention of their names, there's no photos, no nothing. Whereas they have absolutely no problem posting up photos of the women and photos of their families and whatever, and also writing their names, their full names as well. who are associated with these black players as opposed to these white players. So again, it just goes to show the media's lack of respect for people from the black community, basically saying, oh, okay, well, you know, they should know they're involved with this person. So they have absolutely no problem without even checking their sources first, just posting out people's names, photos, details, whatever, and basically trying to paint them in a bad light. Whereas you don't see that happening. Like, we still don't know who these other women are that are involved in Ryan Giggs' case. They haven't been named. None of their photos have been exposed. None of that as well. Another thing I want to briefly touch on associated with this as well is earlier this year when Callum Hudson-Odoi was going through those allegations as well, the way they ripped this guy, and first of all, he was found innocent. Yep. Can we just confirm that he was innocent of those charges? The investigation went on and they found that he was not guilty of those charges, right? Anyway, while this investigation was going on, the girl that was involved, okay, and at this point, we don't know who's guilty, who's innocent. We don't know. Her photo, her name, everything was plastered over social media. And yeah, it was just out there. Like, nobody had the slightest bit of respect or regret for them as well.
100%. And you know the funny thing is that they made him out to be this guy that beats up. You remember, it was lockdown rules. He's broke lockdown rules to be aggressive, to be physical. He's beating her up. This woman, no one who knew her from Adam. She was out in the paper. You know, her name, details of where she worked, who she was, pictures and stuff. Sorry. You don't even know what's happened.
Exactly.
You already came to a conclusion. So you know what happens the next day? People that read that, oh, that Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's a rapist. He's a rapist. That's a serious allegation.
And you know what's crazy? People were saying that whilst this was going on. People were saying it. People were actually going around on social media saying that, oh, he is a rapist. He's this, that, and the other. And it's just like, wait, what?
Already.
That is the worst possible thing to be accused of. The worst possible thing to be accused of. And this guy, there's an ongoing investigation. Nobody knows what's happened. Nobody actually knows what's going on there. And now the investigation is concluded and we actually know he did not commit this crime. He is innocent of those charges.
No coverage, Lance. There was no coverage of that.
There was no evidence. Yeah, and there was no coverage of his name being cleared. Yeah. There was none of that.
Oh, he came out, he put it out and he says he knew he had to. Do you know what it's like? In fact, I can't even say no. It's like, I've never, and God forbid if I ever, because I know I'll never do something like that, or be put in a scenario like that. Do you know what it's like for a black man in London to have this platform where just 12 months ago, one of the biggest clubs in Europe were trying to buy you?
That's so true.
In lockdown, yeah, this girl that you have been seeing, by the way, he was actually dating the girl, which they forgot to mention. It wasn't just so little hookup or whatever, or an escort or something. He was actually dating this girl. They've had the lovers test, blah, blah, blah. She's obviously thought, I'm going to get you done. Let's say what it is, okay? As soon as he was innocent, not one paper said he's innocent.
Yeah.
Because it's embarrassment, because they're gutted. They had nothing to write.
They wanted to be proved right. And the fact that they were proved wrong was like, oh, okay, well, this story's dead and dusted now. There's no point writing about it anymore. We're not going to write and admit that we were wrong and apologize for labeling this young kid as this, that, and the other.
No, this young black man.
They're just gonna,
young black man. It's not a kid. Let's say how they see him. A black man.
What is he now? Is he 19, 20?
Yeah. He's, do you know what I mean? He's not even 20. He's not even reached 20. My point
I don't think he's reached 20 yet. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So like,
I think he'll be 20 in like February.
The way he was portrayed as a rapist, people, Tom, Dick, Bloody Mohammed, were all saying, yeah, he's a rapist, blah, 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 and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
However, for me, yeah, I thought to myself, I said, do you know what? I'd like to think he's smarter than this. From a black man's perspective, this is my opinion. When I read it, I thought, I'd like to think he's a lot smarter than this. Let's see what happens. Because he's not the first black person I'm picking up the paper and reading about. And then to be wrongfully accused. Okay, let's see what happens. All the guys in my WhatsApp groups were like, yo, the paper's got him. they've got him, blah, blah. This is what they've said. This is what he's doing. Cool. And I always try and look at their accounts, their social media accounts, see what they're doing, how they're moving. This guy was calm. You know, he didn't panic, didn't do anything. And you know when you don't reply erratically or aggressively, you know why? It's because you're innocent.
Yeah.
Simple. It's because you're innocent. So when he came out with that, for me, I said it on my chest, I'm happy for the dude. Don't know him personally, but I'm happy because the catastrophic disaster that
and
would
the
have
way
happened.
that he held himself afterwards, got his head down, started working, because he's also coming off the back of like a real of a long-term injury as well.
Yeah.
I think it was his ACL, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, he had an ACL injury. So he was coming off a long injury as well. And then to have that happen as well. And then he also got infected with the coronavirus as well. So the way he kind of put his head down, came back, started working hard, minding his own business. You don't see any stories about him in the news anymore because he's
funny that.
Yeah, funny that, isn't it? Interesting.
Let's be serious, right? Funny, you know, because
Honestly,
prior to that,
ridiculous.
Do you know what I think the beef is? Yeah, and check it, Lambs.
Hmm.
I don't think the papers were happy that Bayern Munich wanted to buy him for such amount of money. Personally,
it was almost like they were trying to devalue him. It was almost kind of like they're pushing some kind of like political agenda, like, a young black player that, you know, is an England national is not worth what, 70+ million.
Exactly.
But our young white defender, Harry Maguire, is worth 85 million. Have a look here.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Have a look here.
Proofs in the pudding, man. Proofs in the pudding.
It's this narrative. It's this constant narrative where you think, well, okay, why are players like, and don't get me wrong, I think Ben Chilwell is a great player and I'm really glad that we have him as well. Why is Ben Chilwell worth 60 million? Why is people like Declan Rice worth 60+ million? Why is Harry Maguire worth 80 million?
Come on, we know why. We know why. You know,
why is Aaron Wan-Bissaka worth 40 or less? And even that 40 million price tag, people are getting onto him, but it's too much. He's not worth it.
Well, we bought him for 50, innit? We bought him for 50, and everyone's like, he's not worth it, blah and stuff. And what I will say,
was it like 47 or something, or 48?
Yeah. But you know the papers, man, they round it up, innit? It always goes up when they round it, innit? Do you know?
Yeah.
But for me, the players that get bought for these prices, I get it. It's not their fault. And I know people, when they watch this back, Lambs, they'll be like, oh, it's not their fault, blah, blah. We get that. But it's not us.
It's
that emphasizes this.
The system.
Exactly. And the media add more fuel to it. You know?
Yeah, they drive the system. They drive it.
They kindly remind people he cost that much. Oh, I saw someone say, for 85 million, you know, you'd expect better. But that's not his fault. You know, for 50 million, they expect better, but that's not who. But why is it that? And we're going to touch on this real quickly. I just want to segue into it while we're going to go into Pogba. We got beat off Arsenal, right? Embarrassing finish. But no one talked about Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw. It was Pogba. Okay,
because
Pogba.
He gave away the penalty, so that's it. Nothing else matters.
We lost because of Pogba.
Nothing else matters. As if to say, people don't give away, like other defenders, other defensive midfielders, or even strikers don't give away penalties. Like, it happens in every single game. Look what happened last night. That poor defender, Ren, he was having a nightmare, mate.
Trust me. But you won't hear about that. You won't hear about that, Lambs. And that's my point. And, like, you know, that's what I say to you all the time. I'm glad that we met to talk about this because, you know, someone needs to give a platform to talk about this, and people need to see that, look, what you're thinking, we think it as well. And it's not opinions, it's facts. You know, basically, the media made it out of Paul Pogba against Arsenal. Paul Pogba, one player against Arsenal. What? So Bruno was horrible.
So what were the other 10 players on the pitch doing?
What are they doing? Why going for them? Do you know what I mean?
Why are they not liable for their for the whole team's loss, for the whole team losing the 3 points that day? Why is it only his fault? Why is it only his fault?
Exactly. So let's segue into Pogba. Yeah. The statement. Oh,
I've got it up here. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah. Go for it. Yeah.
Okay, so obviously it was in response to that famous headline by The Sun. Paul over Man United star Paul Pogba has quit playing for France over President Macron's comments on Islamist terrorism. Okay, so obviously, again, this is like a real political agenda that the UK are now getting involved with. Obviously, we know there's a bit of a madness going on in France. We know how extremely racist they are against their black citizens. We know how Islamophobic as well they are as well. And I suppose it's not even just like Islam that they hate the most. They hate really all other kinds of religions. So it's not even if you practice another religion, and when you go into the workplace, schools, colleges, you're not allowed to show who you are. You're not allowed to express that. Almost like they want everybody to follow a certain social construct they put in place, and if you don't fit that, you can just go, basically.
Exactly.
And they're going to make you feel like you're not welcome if you don't follow that narrative, basically. If you want to be yourself, that's not allowed, and that's not okay. So again, the British media, knowing that he is a French international player, he is a black man, and he is a Muslim man as well, basically instantly thought, okay, let's just put out this fake story that he's not playing for them anymore. He's done with France, disowned them because of these so-called comments by the president. First of all, Paul Pogba is not an Islamist terrorism. Most anyone who practices any religion, if you're a true believer of your religion, then you oppose terrorism in all forms. You oppose extremism in all forms. So I'm pretty sure he is against terrorism like the rest of us are.
100%.
So his response, and what an amazing response from Paul Pogba as well. So The Sun did it again. Absolutely 100% unfounded news about me are going around, stating things I have never said or thought. I am appalled, angry, shocked, and frustrated some media sources use me to make total fake headlines in the sensible subject of French current events, and adding my religion and the French national team to the pot. I am against any and all forms of terror and violence. My religion is one of peace and love and must be respected. And that's actually true. If a lot of people and do their research and find out what each religion and their narratives and what they preach and what they stand for, Islam actually preaches the most peace. So he's not wrong there either. Unfortunately, some press people don't act responsibly when writing the news, abusing their press freedom, not verifying if what they write or reproduce is true, creating a gossip chain without caring how it affects people's lives and my life. I'm taking legal action against the publishers and spreaders of these 100% fake news. In a quick shout out to The Sun, who normally could not care less, some of you guys probably went to school and remember how your teachers said to always check your sources. Don't write without making sure. But hey, seems you did it again, and on a very serious topic this time. Shame on you.
But that's The Sun. That's The Sun. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest. They're shameful. They don't care. Clickbait. They'll print anything that people want to believe. Opinion. Like you're supposed to report facts, not opinions, not hearsay. You know. And I'm not gonna lie. When I read that, I started laughing when they said that about Paul Pogba. Because it's The Sun. There's no credibility there at all. And it's a shame, isn't it, that a young black man that is, you can say he's not playing, but so what? He's just became I believe his wife had another kid, so he's just had 2 kids.
He's got 2
married.
Young kids now. He's a family man.
He's a family man. He's just playing his football. He doesn't bother anyone. He doesn't drink. You never hear him about being drunk in a nightclub, blah, blah. He's just gotten over coronavirus.
Being involved in any personal trouble. Like, you just don't. If anything, he actually does so much good for the community, for charities.
Exactly.
Like, he's a really, really good person. But where are the stories about the charities that he helps? The places he volunteers.
I don't want to hear it, Lance.
The donations to the certain organizations that he donates to. You won't hear about that. About the pilgrimage trip that he took to Saudi Arabia, I think a few years back. they're not talking about stuff like this because they don't want him to seem like he's a good person, but he is. The same way they won't talk about, they always love dragging Raheem Sterling, but at the end of the day, Raheem Sterling's done a lot for his local community. He's done a lot for young people. And even now recently, he's about to start his own foundation, foundation as well. And nobody's talking about that. Talk about it, because this guy's always done good. Like, his track record shows him and his long-term girlfriend. Like, they do a lot together. Like, together they build a lot of these, like, they have like their own businesses as well, but they also do like a lot of charitable stuff for the community.
It won't get covered. It won't get covered.
It won't get covered. They won't talk about it. And now they're about to launch this foundation. Who's talking about it? This is something amazing. Talk about it. Spread the news.
The thing for me is because they don't want to. They don't, because for some reason these reporters are stuck in a mentality of old school and inheritance racism, bias racism, casual racism. They don't want to talk about the black people doing good. You know,
because we should be happy. They don't want us to be right. They want to say, see, we told you they're dangerous. See,
exactly, and it's like
criminals. We told you they're cheaters. We told you they're abusers.
It annoys me because, you know, there's so many good people in this world, whether you're whatever race you are, there's so many good people. You know, cut me and you open, we still bleed the same color. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, there's one race before anything, it's human race, right? And it just annoys me because I have friends from different races, right? Different religions and everything. And they're all good people. Okay. And to pick up a paper knowing that someone has left their family home or their home to write fake news, be comfortable with that, go to the editor, and they've been like, yeah, print it anyway, with no remorse, no nothing, not to think, maybe, I mean, just not even to say, have you interviewed Paul, by the way, just in case, have you interviewed this person? You know, you want to double check that. Imagine when you're doing an essay, okay, and you get someone to check it over. Have you dotted your I's? Have you crossed your T's? Have you put full stops? Blah, blah, blah. Have you referenced? Have you got your source? Have you got your source, lambs? And people are like, this is newspapers. Bloody hell. Like, this is big, big people, you know. Like,
if you write a paper with no references and sources, you're getting a 0.
Bro, it can be plagiarism. It can be like, where did you get that from? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? But these people are being paid handsomely, I assume. To write paragraph absolute shit.
Write lies.
Yeah, it is. It's lies. Let's be honest, it is lies. And seriously, on this topic, don't piss me off, because I'm thinking now, okay, when Jack Grealish was drink driving, he came out and says, yeah, I'm sorry for my actions, and he tweeted. Where were you then? where were you then? Why did you not come out? This guy's committed a crime. An actual crime. Yeah.
And it's very similar to what happened with that MP, but nobody's talking about that. The MP who he beat up his wife or his girlfriend, and then he drove and he crashed his car. I think they covered it for one day and that's it. They stopped talking about it.
Because if they think that they write a couple of sentences about it, that's it. Yeah, we've covered it. We can move on. However, the way they dragged out,
where's the consequences? Drag his name. This guy's a member of parliament. He has a whole constituency who's relying on him, who trusts him. That's who you trust. That's who we're placing our trust in. No.
Do you know what I'm saying to you? Anyway, let's segue to the next topic. I believe, was it Tyrone Mings?
Yeah.
The interviewer, I'm just going to double check on this headline real quickly, but Tyrone Mings had came out because he was apparently misquoted on something. He came out and said, I'll tell you right now, let me get up on my laptop. Tyrone Mings controversy.
And again, unfortunately, there's too many of these stories. Like, there's too many of these similar stories.
The board. Do you know what I mean? The board. That's it. They're just bored. Like, you know, it's like, I can tell you the sky is blue, right? And then someone will be like, oh, well, you know, bits and bobs, allegedly accuses the sky of not being very blue. Do you know what I'm trying to say to you? Like, someone could twist it. Do you know? Here it is. Here, okay.
Amazing.
Right. So the headline. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It says here. Okay, let me read it to you. In an interview with the Daily Mail, Aston Villa defender claimed that players like himself were perhaps viewed as commodities in the Premier League's Project Restart plan, and said that a return to action is financially motivated. However, Ming suffered quite the verbal barrage as fans refused to look beyond the headline. Go work at Amazon then, they are hiring. Who does he think he is? Loves him on this look. Funny, I didn't get consulted about going to back work either. Get on with your job. And then basically, he came out and said, here's it here. God, this is going slow. Let me see. Let me get it for you. Basically, he came out and said it was a load of shit. He was like, "This is not what I said."
Yeah.
He gave a reporter some time, and he says, "Yeah, no problem at all." And something else about a claim about like white privilege. Get on with your job. What's it called? I done this through lockdown. I never got asked to go work for Amazon. Blah blah blah. Wait a minute. What you're commenting on is due to a headline that he's not even said. Okay? And this is what I'm talking about. He's had a conversation. He's gave a reporter some time. Say, okay, no problem, man. Yeah, this will be big for you. Football player interview. He's done you a solid, right? And you take the piss. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously he's going to get angry. Obviously he can't react, though, can he? Let's be honest.
Well,
because
you can't react then and there whilst they're all around you and the cameras are there rolling. Because if you do react, or I don't know, you roll your eyes, or you kind of give a look, or you say "excuse me," or you even question them, they're going to be like, "Oh, yeah, look at the tone that they use. They're very passive aggressive."
100%.
Yeah, like they were trying to start this fight. They were trying to start this argument. They're being a little bit sensitive for no reason and stuff like that. So you can't even react then and there. But afterwards, you have to just sit there and like collate the evidence and start posting it and basically saying, okay, now that this is my platform, I can say what I want on this. I'm going to give my honest opinion on how I feel this interview went. This is what happened. Here is the evidence. This is what I then said. Here is the evidence. This is what this reporter decided to misquote me or say that I said instead of what I actually said. So actually, I'm a bit pissed off because by misquoting what I'm saying, you're trying to push a certain narrative and paint me in a certain light that I don't appear in.
100%.
That's the agenda that they're trying to push, and it's actually awful when you sit there and you realize it's happening to you, because it's just the gears just click and you're like, wait, this is happening, isn't it? This
100%.
is
and you know what? Do you know what the most annoying thing is, right? Being black, is that you have to calculate when you can be angry. You have to calculate when you want to reply or respond. You have to calculate how you do it so you don't be the stereotype angry, aggressive, intimidating.
And especially because this is another black man who, like Raheem Sterling, like Marcus Rashford, he's trying to actually bring about positive change. So he's campaigning for change. He's pushing, he's trying to push like a positive, progressive agenda. And that's why he's giving these interviews. That's why he's involved in what he's involved in. Because he's trying to actually bring about positive change. And it's really quite disgusting when you see once again how media, reporters and all of these people are just trying to drag another successful black man down in football.
And do you know what, Lambs? I'm going to conclude it there because I echo every word, especially the last sentence there. You're trying to drag another successful black man down. Do you know what I mean? And I'm going to hashtag that by saying, don't piss me off. Yo, Lambs, drop your socials. Let the people know where to find you.
So at the moment, I'm just using Instagram at the moment. So it's at Lamia Elmad. You can see it on the screen.
And you're still not on Twitter, but we'll get there, guys. Don't worry.
We'll get there. one step at a time.
100%, 100%. Guys, you can get me bits and bobs at Twitter, bits and bobs _ on Instagram. That has been your second episode of Don't Piss Me Off. Please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to the socials as well, because Lambs, obviously, and I are very passionate about this, and we're hoping to get this show elevated on the road and, you know, create the exposure and the awareness that it needs, you know. But yeah, peace and love to you all. Take care.